Hey, what's up everybody? Thanks for tuning in to another Starcraft 2 broadcast. My name is Anaris, and it all comes down to this. We do have the two players from the Ukraine, DIMAGA and WhiteRa, fighting it out in game number 5, the 5th and final battle in this King of the Hill series, sponsored by StarcraftWorld.it. Whoa, what can I say about these guys, man? This has been one heck of a PvZ show match series so far. We've seen Void Rays, we've seen cannon rushes, we've seen everything in between, and wow, let me just be the first to say, whoever wins this definitely deserves it. So good stuff coming from both players here today in this series. Let's hopefully finish it off with an exciting matchup. And I think the stage is set for exactly that, as we see the Zerg player down here, cross position from his opponent, which we see WhiteRa already dropping that pylon down here. Pretty indicative of some kind of fast expansion build, which I would not be surprised at given the map so big. Cross positions, obviously they don't know that yet. Both players are actually scouting as we speak, but we look down here at the Zerg player. He's sitting on 14 supply right now. We'll keep an eye on him, see if he's going to go. Whoa! What in the world was that? I guess somebody dropped a sandwich over here beside this mineral patch, man, because those drones were just in a feeding frenzy. So Zerg is currently sitting on 15 supply. I'm thinking we're going to see like a 15 hatch, something like that. Again, we've seen DIMAGA does like that early expand build, getting the hatchery first and then going ahead to the spawning pool. He likes those economy plays. So actually WhiteRa, coincidentally, spotting that drone's going to come down here and check out the Zerg player. He's going to know, okay, well, I'm safe to expand up here. I'll just probably drop his Nexus next. You see he's actually sitting around 200 minerals right now and does not have a probe down here, so probably saving it up for a little while. Yep, sure enough, here he comes back as we speak. And yeah, no real pressure, no need to drop a cannon or gateway first. Don't need any of that stuff when DIMAGA is obviously not going to be a threat. Now, what I would like to see from this game is, I think we've seen so far that WhiteRa definitely enjoys going into the mid game and going for that Stargate pressure. You know, the Void Rays, the Phoenix. I think this map would lend itself very well to that plan. Of course, this is a map that DIMAGA picked since he did lose the last fight. And yeah, I think it could work out well for both players. Could have a pretty darn even matchup here. This poor probe is just taking it like a champ. There we go. Get out of that base. You aren't meant to mate with that. You're not even the same species. Get out. You don't even have claws. Stupid probe. Alright, back to the game here, folks. We do have the Zerg player sitting on 21 supply. I would expect to see him droning up pretty hard for a while here. Again, given the positions, of course, it's very likely that he knows WhiteRa actually is going to come up here and see right now. WhiteRa doing a little bit of economy play of his own. Now just dropping down a cannon. Gateway about 75%, and there's that pesky probe still hanging out here. This is actually really good, the fact that WhiteRa is able to keep this probe in here for so long. He has a good idea of the type of play that DIMAGA is going to be incorporating here. We do hear a Zergling finally getting rid of that. Now, has the probe seen this? No, he has not. So keep that in mind as the game progresses. He doesn't really know DIMAGA's expanded there, although I'm sure that it's in the back of his head, so we might see WhiteRa actually go ahead and try to take this other expansion down here. I mean, that is kind of one of the nice things about building where he is right now. Yes, you still have access to the expansion through the set of destructible debris, but you'll have plenty of time to react to it, and of course that probe is going to make it back safely. Wow, luckiest probe in the world. Zergling's forced to retreat down there. So anyways, what I was talking about earlier was DIMAGA knows that WhiteRa is going to try to incorporate some airplay. Great map for it. Think it'll work out well. DIMAGA, though, he knows that's coming, so I wouldn't be surprised if we saw him, you know, really secure some good, solid anti-air, maybe getting some Hydras straight out the door. I would like to see some Infestors. Game number 1, we did see how DIMAGA, unfortunately for him, lost a lot of Infestors at the final battle that I really think could have actually changed the tide of it, or at least held off defeat for a while longer, if not completely changed it around, depending on how it was microed. But I'm going to be looking for some much better control over the Infestors from DIMAGA, as I think we've seen, I think he kind of gets the idea now that they really are good against what WhiteRa kind of prefers, which is that Stalker Colossus combination. So hopefully WhiteRa can actually incorporate a few other tricks into his playstyle here. As we do come towards the 7-minute mark, rather, this poor probe is still stuck in this base, or just outside of it. I think what WhiteRa's plan is to actually keep this walled off, shift the shift down here, take out the set of destructible debris, and have this actually be the entrance to his base. But for now, this is working out perfectly. He's able to get out his Void Ray without worrying about the Zerg player coming in and putting on too much pressure. Let's actually, speaking of pressure, the lack thereof right now, let's look at the drone probe count. 44 to 47. Whoa, that's just kicking up super quick. You can see both players are working very hard at getting their economies going. Not so much worrying about army. You see right now just a few Zerglings running around the map, and nothing, quite literally nothing for the Protoss. There we go. Now kick it up there with the Void Ray. But you still see Zerg is about 10 supply ahead, so Queen's obviously helping out with that. And we got a robotics facility going down. Going to be probably getting an observer or two, maybe going into that Colossus play once the Stargate's kind of worn out its welcome here. And the Void Ray is going to be heading down, possibly what I'm going to be looking to see if he's going to hit the gas, or if he's going to maybe try to hit the drones after he charges up. I'm really going to be curious to see. Oh, Roach Ward going down. That could definitely be quite interesting here if WhiteRa, or daggone it, I did it again. I clicked the freaking Void Ray and I see Ra down there. Oh, oy vey. Alright, if WhiteRa takes this out, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Here we come now. Void Ray, it looks like he's going to charge up on the Roach Warren. What I was hoping to see is he'd take out the gas, because if WhiteRa came in here just a little bit farther, he could spot. Oh, he does know that his opponent's going into Tier 2 right now. So gas is obviously a huge part of the Zerg Tier 2 game, and denying the gas like that would really hurt DIMAGA. Of course, we do have an Evolution Chamber going down. That's about it. No Hydralist in or anything like that. Oh, it looks like actually one just popped up a second or two ago. So now finally the Zerg player is going to be able to dump out some of that gas. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. He's got so much of it saved up here. Now, plenty of drones coming as well. You see they're actually rallied to this expansion up here. The Void Ray just continues to take out these structures. Working out pretty good for him there. He's bringing in a couple Phoenix for reinforcements. This is mainly just to lift off those Queens, pick off a few Overlords. That's about it. Not really meant for extended fighting directly against, say, Hydras, which we see coming here as the Hydralist den pops. Oh man, he is under supply cap, just barely getting those Hydras out in time. A few seconds later, and it would have been a completely different story here. But now, once those Hydras pop up there, plus the Queens, I think we're going to see DIMAGA still be in a pretty darn good spot. I mean, 4 Queens, oh no, losing that Void Ray is a pretty substantial hit there in the early part of the game, as we can actually look at the army size and see, still not a lot for either player. But when those Hydras pop out, man, yep, sure enough, they're going to come and show in full force here. Notice they do not have the range upgrade. Ooh, second Evolution Chamber going down as well. Yeah, I don't really blame him here. DIMAGA is kind of loaded up on gas and money right now. You see he's been floating on a good bit, mainly because of being supply blocked for so long. But he's going to be looking to rectify that as he does finally get out of the red, back into the white here, and continues to macro up. So a little Queen train coming and hanging out. There is kind of a creep gap here. That's something you definitely want to rectify as the game progresses. But as far as income now goes, 70 to 72, we can just look at the units also and see, okay, 9 worker skilled, that's actually pretty good so far. 15 to 2 total on the units. As far as units go, you can take a look and see 1 Colossus, a few Phoenix, that's about it. Still, again, WhiteRa has effectively walled himself in here between the debris and this this physical barrier that he has created with these different structures right here. I think he's in a pretty good spot, so the fact that he's down the army just a little bit, not that big of an issue. But when you compare it to the amount of roaches that we've got coming down the line here, 17 roaches already in the field, plus the Hydras, we could see 7 of those. We can expect to actually witness DIMAGA try to continue to get more of those, kind of depending on what he scouts out, you know. If we see that he's really going heavy on the side of the Colossus, maybe he's going to want to either micro him a little bit better or try to keep him back out of range of the Colossi there. But, you know, it all depends on if he actually decides to attack here soon. But the thing is, though, range is already done for this Colossi. Yep. And the Zerg player actually getting that crucial information right there, sacrificing that Zergling to see, okay, the Colossi do indeed have the range upgrade. Oh man, we're going to be losing more drones here. You see, Zerg is still pretty decent on the income right now, but losing the Queens, definitely not something you want to have happen. You see, he's still not maxed out right now. So we can expect to see those queens come back here rather shortly. I think it's interesting that WhiteRa has actually found the little niche here. All of the anti-air is behind the mineral line, nothing over here whatsoever. So DIMAGA trying to actually retreat these overlords back under the cover of the defenses. Again, WhiteRa really doesn't care about those. I mean, he's able to do so much damage to his opponent's economy here. And lifting off yet another queen, we can actually just see the total right now that the Zerg player does not have any queens left on the field. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, he does. Yes, he does 5 of them. I just happen to be looking over here. But 80 drones, plenty of hatcheries. Overall, I'd say he's still doing pretty darn good here. And, ooh, we got some Overlord upgrades on the way. Very, very nice. Looking to see maybe some drops here. I don't know. Could just be planning for the future, though. Let's go back to the production tab. Still a couple Colossi on the way. That's looking pretty good. The nice thing about that recent attack with the Phoenix is that the Protoss player does know the composition of his opponent. Although one thing I want to point out, I don't think he actually saw the Infestors. I'm pretty sure he saw the Infestation Pit. No, he did not. Let's see, where is that actually? Yeah, it's right down here. Okay, so he did not see that. And we do have Neural Parasite on the way as well as Armor 2. Weapons 1 just going to finish here in a moment. We can just spot the Protoss upgrades and see 2 weapons. Okay, so that's pretty good. Going into this fight here, we see he is setting up that proxy pylon. Not quite as big as army as his opponent, but we can expect to see that actually change rather soon. Now, I'm going to be interested to see where WhiteRa actually attacks from, as it looks like he's going to be trying to engage somewhere around here. He's just going to make sure the Zerg player does not get that concave. He's also going to make sure that Infestors don't lay down too many fungal growths. But look at the Banelings, man. So many Banelings are loading up into these Overlords, it looks like. If he gets a combination of some killer fungals plus the Baneling bombs, then it is going to be a crazy, crazy fight indeed. So, we kind of see what DIMAGA's plan is. I'm fairly sure he knows that his opponent is relatively close. Yes, indeed, he does. And WhiteRa has assumed the position down here, looking pretty good. Going to be actually scouting out ahead. Oh, there's the Guardian Shield. Here we go, folks. First epic fight of the game. Max Army versus Max Army. Fantastic fungal growths going down, and the Banelings are going in. Will they do it? They do! So many freaking units just go down right there. I cannot believe WhiteRa just getting his army demolished by those Banelings. Combination of that and the fungal growth, we're seeing DIMAGA now able to mop up here with a clear victory here on Terminus. Look at the supply count after that fight, 169 to 98. You can see the results now as far as the units and resources lost, that the Protoss player, despite having lost fewer units, is definitely hurting from the resources there that were lost in that last engagement. So let's look at WhiteRa's ability to recuperate now. He's got a decent bit of gateways. Alright, so that's fine, but look at how strapped for gas he is right now. He's warping in a bunch of Stalkers here, which probably wasn't his first choice, because again, we saw the Infestors just so capable of dealing that damage, and with all the Zerglings running around in the field now they have 2 armor. Look at that, man. Doing some serious damage here. Yeah, I think that's pretty much the best choice that he had at the point, considering how strapped for gas he actually has been. Continuing to make Void Riz, though, very interesting choice in that regard. Maybe he's kind of hoping that his opponent's just going to stick with the fungal growth and not have any Hydras left or anything like that. We'll wait and see exactly how it goes. Now, WhiteRa has seen the army. Are we going to see another Baneling bombing here? Oh, it's getting pretty close. 3, 2, 1, and splashdown. Baneling's just annihilating that bottom half of the Protoss army there. As you see, once again, DIMAGA comes up here and demands full payment for the army that he just lost. Look at this, 298. He has fully rebuilt everything that he lost just a moment or two ago, as he is actually going to be... Oh, man, I'm really not sure that WhiteRa can come back from this. That first attack, that was pretty much I think that was kind of the climax there, but WhiteRa still was able to dump down a bunch of resources there. Unfortunately, getting gas blocked like that really hurt him, and he was not able to get up the unit combinations that he needed. You know, it would have been really great to see some Psystorm, some feedback maybe, even a mothership, a Vortex, separating that army into pieces would just be absolutely crucial. Or even some force fields. If nothing else, some force fields blocking off the Hydras, allowing the Colossi to do tons of damage there. Will this Colossus actually make it? Wow, 6 hit points. Super lucky Colossus there. This one might not be so fortunate if it didn't go back. There we go. Finally retreating to the safety of the... Oh, never mind. Just kidding about that safety part, folks. Throw that idea out the window. There was a full-on DIMAGA invasion up here. Finally, some force fields are going down. It's just way too late, folks. I think DIMAGA is indeed going to be forcing a GG here any time now from WhiteRa, as there's just no way, no how that he can come back from this. 26 additional Zerglings queued up here. Plenty more Banelings on the way. Of course, WhiteRa spots that. There's the GG, ending one of the more epic ZVPs that I have watched in recent times. Thank you guys again for watching. Thank you, StarcraftWorld.it, for hosting this. And, of course, thank you to WhiteRa and DIMAGA, two players from the Ukraine duking it out in a friendly civil war battle. Good stuff. Alright, guys, if you like the video series, make sure you subscribe. It helps me out a ton. And, of course, if you want to leave a comment down below, let me know what you thought was the coolest part of this game or this series in general. Even so, whatever. I don't care. Just tell me what's on your mind. Alright, guys, thanks again for watching. I'm out.